Hello everyone, my name is Anisa Ramadhani. I am student at Bina Sarana Informatika University, majoring in accounting. Indonesia is a blessed nation, not only for its beautiful landscape stretching from Sabang to Merauke, but also for its rich culture that shines through our plates of food. Today, I would like to invite all of us to celebrate one of our nation's strongest identities, the culinary diversity of Indonesia. Our cuisine is not just food, it is a historical narrative. Did you know that every spices we use from cloves and nutmeg to pepper once drove the world to cross ocean just to find them? This is exactly why our culinary heritage is so incredibly rich. In Sumatra, we know rendang from Minangkabau, which has been repeatedly crowned as the world's most delicious food. In Java, we have sweet and humble gudeg, reflecting the life philosophy of its people. Stepping over to Bali, there is fragrant sate lilit. All the way with eastern Indonesia, where we taste the freshness of papeda and yellowfish soup, symbolizing the abundance of our seas. This dessert variety teaches us one thing: harmony. Even though the flavors are different, some are intensely spicy, some are sweet, others are fresh and sour, everything comes together on one dining table called Indonesia. Food is a bridge that unites ethnic and language differences. We no longer talk about our origins. Instead, we talk about flavor that touch the soul. In closing, let us be proud and continue to preserve this heritage. Do not let the recipe of our ancestors disappear with time. Let us introduce the flavor of the archipelago to the global stage, so the world knows that Indonesia is the flavor capital of the world. Today, I'm going to present a fundamental topics in English grammar, mastering countable nouns. Understanding this will help us speak and write English more accurately. First, let's start with the basic. What is a noun? Noun is a word that names a person, a place, a thing, or even an idea. In English, it is very important to know that nouns are divided into two categories: countable noun and uncountable noun. So, what exactly are countable nouns? As the name suggests, these are things we can count using numbers. They are discrete units. For example, you can see one chair, two chairs, or three chairs. Because we can count them, they have both singular and plural form. When we talk about only one item, we use the singular form. In this case, we usually put the articles a or an before the noun. For example, a cat or an apple. People often get confused about a and an. It's simple. Use a before words that start with a consonant sound, like a dog. Use an before words that starting with a vowel sound, like an orange. Be careful with words that like our, even though it starts with h. It's like sound like oh, so we say an hour. Now, what if we have more than one? That is when we use the plural form. We often change the ending of the words and sometimes add the numbers or a quantifier like some or many to show there is more than one. Our rules for spelling plural nouns. For most words, we simply add an s at the end. For example, one bag becomes two bags, and one phone becomes many phones. However, if a noun ends in s, x, z, ch, or s, we add s. It makes it easier to pronounce. For instance, bus becomes buses, and watch become watches. The letter Y also has its own rules. If there is a consonant before Y, change Y to ES, like baby, babies. But if there is a vowel before Y, just add S, like boy to boys. Now, watch out for the irregular ones. Some nouns don't follow the S rule at all. They change completely. For example, we don't say childs, we say children. We don't say mans, we say man. And person becomes people. Interestingly, a few nouns stay exactly the same whether they are singular or plural. You can have one sip or 10 sip. The words doesn't change at all. Other examples include fish and deer. How do we ask about the number of these things? We use the phrase how many. Remember, how many is strictly for countable noun. For example, how many books do you have? How many students are here? To describe the amount without using exact numbers, we use quantifiers. We use many or a lot of for a large amounts, and a few for small amounts. For example, I have a few coins in my pocket. To recap, countable nouns are individual items that you can count. They can be singular or plural, and they use how many for question. This is different from uncountable nouns like water or sugar, which we cannot count individually. That's all from me. See you next time and bye bye.